What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos. And today it's Tuesday, so we're talking some tech. Now, for today's Tech Talk Tuesday, we're going to be talking about a very interesting extra card that was introduced to us in Set 4, Colossal Warfare. It's a zero cost extra card. It's black, and obviously, now that you know the color, we're talking about minus Kili Zone. Now, when this card was first revealed, there was a lot of hype around it because it was basically a free answer to Cold Bloodlust and Crusher Ball. Now, with the introduction of Time Control Chronoa and just the overwhelming um, abundance of blue leaders in the format, yellow leaders have kind of taken a back seat, and especially Frieza army leaders. Remember, there's only a handful of Frieza army leaders in the game that can actually use Cold Bloodlust. You have Captain Ginyu, you have Galactic Emperor Frieza, you have Mecha Frieza, and I think that might be it. I think there's only 3 actual Frieza army leaders that have access to playability with Cold Bloodlust. So, with the abundance of blue in the format, and the lack of just originality in yellow, you have seen kind of a shift in the meta, and people are not playing, Crusher Ball or Cold Bloodlust or even Shigesh. But minus Kili Zone still is a very good card. Now, with the recent release of the World Martial Arts Tournament set from Bandai and the temporary ban on SS3, a lot of people are going to be experimenting with the Jackie Chun leader in the World Martial Arts Tournament set. Now, obviously, Jackie Chun is not a Frieza army leader, so it does not have access to Cold Bloodlust. But there's a lot of interactions with the yellow color in the World Martial Arts Tournament set that have to do with your opponent's creatures being in rest mode. Obviously, the leader himself, when he's awakened, he can attack battle cards and your opponent can't combo, so they essentially die. And there are other cards in the yellow color of World Martial Arts Tournament that get pluses from having your opponent's battle cards in rest mode. So there might be a little bit of a spike in Crusher Ball's playability. Now, minus Kili Zone says it's a zero cost extra card. It says send 3 cards from your drop area to your warp area, draw a card, and your opponent cannot activate counterplay skills for the duration of the turn. Why is this good? Well, if you're trying to push for game and your opponent has a yellow energy up, you can kind of assume that they might have a Crusher Ball, especially if they're playing some type of a stall deck that just kind of puts your threats in rest mode, or Jackie Chun or anything like that. So to ensure yourself getting your threat off, you play minus Kili Zone. It sends 3 from drop to warp, so that's fine, and then it draws you a card. So it's essentially you break even because you're playing 1 card and you're drawing 1 card, so you're breaking even. But that 1 card that you're drawing, might help you, progress your strategy and ensure your victory. Now, the other thing I like about minus Kili Zone, if you're not playing an Overrealm heavy deck, you can fuel your warp area for the new the Mira, the SR that we got from Colossal Warfare, the one that says when you attack, it gains 5,000 power for each card in your warp area. So that card is nutty. So it helps you ensure that play as well. You can minus Kili Zone. Yeah, Mira does have deflect, so it wouldn't be affected by counterplay skills anyway. But it just is something that you can activate in the early game to get more cards in your warp for the later game. I do also think that the decks that relied heavily on Legendary Flute for the draw one are going to benefit from minus Kili Zone. It's clearly not the same card. Legendary Flute is probably one of the most powerful cards that have been printed in this game because you can essentially just rinse and repeat your strategy and also draw a card off of it. But if you're looking for a free draw, there's really nothing more free than minus Kili Zone in this game right now. Again, what makes this card good is it's a zero cost extra card. If you had to tap 1, it'd be a little less effective because you're negging on energy. But if you're looking for essentially a free draw, um, that's probably the best card in the game that's going to allow you to do that. Now, a lot of people aren't playing it. It's not something that's going to help you strategically, because we have to see how the format shifts and kind of the lay of the land, with the World Martial Arts Tournament stuff. But I did want to bring it to your guys' attention if you're looking for that splashable draw card that's going to help you gain more advantage throughout, and you're not really negging any resources because you're using your drop area, which there's not really that much recursion in the game right now. So sending a card from your drop to your warp doesn't really hurt you too much. Um, Free draws are always good. You can dig for a combo piece. You can dig for a super combo or a negate or something that's going to help you sustain survivability moving forward. The best part about it, like I said, is the zero cost extra card, so you can play multiple copies per turn, and it does shut off your opponent's counterplay skills. Now, obviously, the most uh, prevalent counterplay skills in the game would be, Crusher Ball and Cold Bloodlust. But, you know, I'm sure there are other cards that are going to be printed in the future that have the counterplay. So I don't see minus Kili Zone ever being a bad card, essentially because it's a free draw one. It can definitely be splashed in any colored deck because it's a black card, so there's no restricted cost. I mean, it's zero anyway, so it doesn't matter, but um, it doesn't really make your energy too weird because a black energy can be tapped for anything, and a lot of the cards that we've gotten, in Colossal Warfare and these newer sets have lower restricted costs. Like there's not like the 4 red energy color cost cards anymore or anything like that. So it's definitely something that you might want to look into if you're looking for something that's going to help you proceed and hopefully stop your opponent from interrupting your strategies. Now, the reason I brought it to your attention is because my teammate Enrique loves to play Cold Bloodlust. It's one of his favorite cards. He plays a lot of Cold Bloodlust leaders. And if I were to be smart and play him like in an actual tournament or something like that, I would definitely utilize minus Kili Zone to my advantage because I know it's going to stop him from essentially having a response to one of my plays. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other cards that that we're going to be talking about here. I'm going to be delving into some World Martial Arts Tournament stuff in the next coming days, and just dissecting that set as a whole. As far as like, I don't really think there's that many tech choices in that set because a lot of the cards are World Martial Arts Tournament specific, but there are a few gems in there that I'm going to want to talk about. So we'll definitely have some stuff to go forward with here. Um, as far as moving forward, competitive scene and events and stuff like that. There's a regional coming up this weekend, the 28th and the 29th. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's in Orlando. I'm not exactly sure the location, but I know there's a regional coming up this weekend. So if you guys are watching, if you're attending that regional, good luck. Um, don't forget to play something that you're comfortable with. And you're definitely going to see a lot of World Martial Arts Tournament, sprinkled around at these events because, remember the SS3 band starts September 28th. So that's this Friday, actually. So it won't be available for the regional this weekend. For those SS3 players who have been testing for the regionals playing SS3, I do apologize, but you guys have had a good run playing with that leader, so it's time to hit the drawing board and get the wheels spinning and start grinding the gears, and putting the pedals to the pavement, building something original and building something fresh. But definitely there's going to be a lot of World Tournament presence at these events coming up. Jackie Chun's a very strong leader. The announcer is a very strong leader, and then you're going to see a lot of Herudegarn. So just be prepared, and make sure you play your turns optimally and you play your game. Don't play your opponent's game. Force your opponent to play your game. That about does it here. Again, minus Kili Zone is a pretty good card, so don't overlook it. I really don't think there's such thing as a bad card in this game. Everything has its place. You just have to find the right way of incorporating it into your main strategy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You can follow us on our multiple social media platforms here to the left, and we'll see you in the next video. Be there or be squared.